Picture this. You pour your heart, soul, and every last dollar into building your own drag racing team. You fight through 5 tough years, spending millions just to stay on the track. Then, one day, you decide it's time to let go of the business side and focus only on what you love most, driving. You join one of the biggest names in the sport, and on your very first weekend with a new team, you and the whole thing. Sounds like a movie script, right? But for Josh Hart, this dream just became real life at the start of the 2026 NHRA season. The big moment happened at the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals in Gainesville, Florida. This wasn't just any race. It kicked off the NHRA's huge 75th anniversary year, and the air at Gainesville Raceway was electric. Fans packed the stands, engines thundered down the strip, and Hart rolled in as the new driver for John Force Racing in the Top Fuel class. By the end of the weekend, he stood on top as the champion, his 3rd career win, but the first one that felt like a fresh start. Hart isn't new to the drag racing world. For years, he ran his own operation called Josh Hart Racing. He built it from the ground up and kept it going for 5 seasons. That took real grit and a lot of cash, about $22 million by his own count. Owning a team means handling everything. Finding sponsors, fixing cars, managing crew, and still trying to drive at your best. It was exhausting. So Hart made a smart but tough choice. He sold the team so he could climb back behind the wheel full-time without all the extra headaches. That's when John Force Racing came calling. John Force is a legend in drag racing, a man who has won championships and built one of the strongest teams around. Hart stepped in to take the seat left by Brittany Force, John's daughter. She decided to step back for a while to focus on starting her own family. Talks between Hart and the team started in the middle of 2025. By October, they had a multi-year deal locked in. Hart later said driving for John Force felt like a huge honor all by itself. The timing could not have been better. Hart calls Gainesville his home track. He lives in Florida and runs his Burn His Speed shop business right in Ocala, not far from the raceway. Walking into that familiar place with a brand new team uniform must have felt special. And the results? They came fast, faster than anyone expected. Right from qualifying, Hart showed he belonged. He grabbed his very first #1 starting spot of his career. Then he pushed the car to a blazing 340.3 miles per hour, setting a new track speed record at Gainesville. Think about that for a second. In his first try with a new crew, he was already rewriting the record books. The elimination rounds were tough. Top Fuel racing is no joke. These cars rocket down the quarter mile in under 4 seconds, hitting speeds over 330 miles per hour. Hart had to beat strong drivers like Dan Mercier, Trip Tatum, and even 4-time champion Antron Brown. Each round tested the car, the crew, and Hart's focus. But he stayed sharp. In the final round, he lined up against Doug Kalitta, the defending world champion. The crowd held its breath. Hart car launched perfectly. He crossed the finish line in 3.733 seconds at 337.83 miles per hour. Kalitta ran a solid 3.877 seconds at 319.60 miles per hour, but it wasn't enough. Hart had done it. He won the event in his very first weekend with John Force Racing. After the race, Hart could hardly contain his excitement. He called the weekend storybook and epic. All the goals he had set for the first part of the season, he knocked them out in just 3 days. No more worrying about team bills or sponsor calls. Now he could simply drive and drive fast. He shared how freeing it felt. When you think about driving for John Force, that by itself is just monumental. Later he added, "It's been absolutely epic. We crushed all of our first quarter priority goals, all in one weekend." You could hear the relief and joy in his words. For someone who carried the weight of ownership for so long, this win was like a deep breath of fresh air. The crew chiefs, Dave Grubnick and John Collins, played a huge part too. Their setup and quick thinking helped the car perform at its best all weekend. Hart made sure to give them credit, a true team effort. This victory wasn't just about one driver. John Force Racing had another strong showing in the funny car class. Alexis DeJoria finished as runner-up, giving the whole team plenty to celebrate. It was a great way to open the 2026 season and show that the organization is ready to fight for more titles. Now, let's talk about what this means going forward. The Top Fuel class is stacked with talent this year. Kalitta is still the champ to beat, and Brown and others will keep pushing hard. But Hart's quick success sends a clear message. He is a real contender. With John Force Racing's top-level resources, the best engines, data, and support, he has everything he needs to chase a championship. Hart's story also reminds us why drag racing is so special. It's not just about speed. It's about people who chase big dreams, even when the odds look tough. He went from running his own small team to stepping into a powerhouse program. He gave up control of the business so he could chase pure driving joy. And right away, it paid off. Fans who watched the Gatornationals saw more than a race. They saw a new chapter in a driver's life. They saw a Florida local shine on his home track. They saw a team welcome a new member and immediately start winning. 4 young racers dreaming of their own shot. Hart's path offers real hope. Hard work, smart choices, and a little bit of magic can turn dreams into reality. As the 2026 season rolls on, all eyes will be on Josh Hart. Will this debut win turn into a full season of success? Can he keep beating the big names week after week? The answers will come one race at a time, but one thing is already clear. This story is just getting started. Hart himself put it best when he looked back on the weekend. It was epic. It was storybook. And for drag racing fans, it was the perfect way to kick off a landmark anniversary year. If you love fast cars, big dreams, and underdog moments that actually work out, keep your eyes on this driver. Josh Hart is ready to make 2026 his year. What a way to begin a new journey. The engines are still warm, the season is young, and Hart is already in the winner's circle. Drag racing just got a whole lot more exciting.